One thing that I feel like a lot of teachers do not address enough when it comes to teaching voice students is stage fright and performance anxiety. So if this is you, keep watching. By the way, my name is Hannah Minner. I am a vocal coach and I'm also an opera singer. If you want more information on that, check out the description down below. So when I was younger, when I think back to what type of training I had on how to deal with my own nervousness, it was pretty much nothing. My teachers were, my teachers were great. Their biggest focus is making you a better singer. It's not necessarily all the other aspects. But, if I think to has anyone helped me with it? The thing that I can think of most is, they'll say, oh, if you mess up, just keep going, or good luck, or you'll be fine, or break a leg, things like that. We've all probably heard that before. And is that really helpful when you're really nervous in the moment? No. So I want to talk about some things that I have found that I only figured out as a teacher myself that really, really helps other people with this. So before going into this though, one huge thing before even going into this is seeking out a mental health professional. That, of course, with anxiety in general, I'm sure would be super, super helpful. So always consult with them. But this is just my take based on someone who performed and also teaches. So I've been teaching for 11 years, and I started this little soiree performer that I would do with my students at the beginning of the year that will give them some initial performance experience. And what I was finding is that when they would go to perform, they would act so bizarre. And I didn't get it. I didn't know why they were doing that. They would do things like, they would stand in front of the class and then they'd start laughing uncontrollably, or they would stand in front of the class and then turn around because they didn't want to look at anybody, and they'd be like, oh, can I sing this, with my eyes closed or not facing them? Or I've had kids hide behind things. I've had kids just refuse to come up for it. And why I was confused was because beforehand I was working with them and I was coaching them, and I didn't understand why they would still repeat those things. Until one year I tried something different, and I had the entire class get together and we hashed out what are our symptoms of performance anxiety. And that was the key that really helped them to feel more comfortable with singing in front of each other. And then in turn, when they did their actual bigger performances in front of an actual audience, they were able to cope with that so much better. So what I mean is you need to invest time with students when it comes to talking about this stuff. That was a good amount of a lesson to teach. And, we talked about what they felt. And when they do that with their class, the other kids are hearing it. And they're also kind of agreeing, and they're also thinking of the things that they experience. And so when they all talk about it, there's a moment where they all start to relate to each other and they realize that they're not alone. It's that not alone feeling that I think is the most important thing. And ever since we started doing that, they have become so much nicer to each other. And we've done surveys where we'll start out with how they feel with performance anxiety before doing this, and then after, how did they feel? And a lot of them said that they have coped much better with their feelings. I'm not talking about removing performance anxiety completely. What I'm saying is how to actually cope with it better. So I have 3 things that really help with this. So the first thing is having a community of people you trust and like-minded singers. So that means people who you are singing in front of, are not going to bully you. They're not going to make snide remarks. I can't tell you how many times as a private voice teacher, I've had kids come in almost in tears about kids who they say they're their friend, and they are making fun of them, and they're talking about them, and they're being mean. That type of behavior is not okay. You want to be around people who are there to encourage you. Now, if someone's giving you critique that you've asked for, then of course you got to be able to hear what they're saying. But if this is just unsolicited advice and you could tell it's in a mean tone, that's not okay. How you find this is you can either find it around school with your friends. Of course, that's usually where the problem is, though, with the school that you go to, because that's where, the bullying can sometimes happen. There are teachers who offer master classes and group lessons. That's a great thing to check out. By the way, if you subscribe to my channel, I talk about this concept a lot with the master classes and the group lessons. And if you check out my description, you can check out more about it as well. But having a community of singers who you really trust is like super, super important so that you can actually feel comfortable singing in front of them. I cannot stress that enough. The second thing is having a good mentor or voice coach or teacher who will listen to you. One thing that really helps when you are feeling nervous about something is feeling seen and heard. They're not someone solving all your problems or giving you a magic solution. It's just literally someone being like, okay, I understand that. Let's see if we can figure that out. Someone actually just truly listening to you. A lot of people too have a lot of traumas with singing because maybe they did a performance and they forgot the words, or they cracked, or they messed up in some way and it traumatized them. So when they try to talk about that with people and all you're saying is, oh, you'll be fine. If you make a mistake, just act like it didn't happen and keep going. That is not helpful. We all know that is something that you can do. That's what you should do. But when you're talking about how you feel, that's the problem that we're trying to solve. How to cope with that. So someone who would just listen to you and help you make you feel seen and heard is extremely, extremely important. Something else I'll mention about that is a lot of our experiences with singing that we see growing up in the mainstream are shows like American Idol or America's Got Talent or things like that, where you have a singer doing something and you have literally judges who are critiquing you in front of everybody. And if you do a bad job, you are ridiculed in front of everybody. And it doesn't just stop there, it continues online. How terrifying. And this is another thing to remember with dealing with this nervousness and performance anxiety. Is the fact that you are able to do this and get up in front of people is extremely brave. It's more than what so many people are willing to do. A lot of people don't even pursue singing because they are afraid of that type of ridicule. And so if you're still able to do that, good for you. You are extremely courageous and brave if you do that. So keep that in mind. The last thing that I think really helps with this is having positive performing experiences. So again, all three of these things are connected that I'm saying. Having that community, having a mentor that listens to you, and positive performance experiences. You can't really have the positive performance experience if people you're singing for are mean. All right, so if you have a good community, that means that if you do a masterclass type setting, you're singing in front of them and they're giving you positive feedback. You're getting people encouraging you. And now I'm not saying when you perform that you perform the best ever and you're perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have a good experience when you do it. You don't feel traumatized afterwards. If you are trying to do this stuff on your own, perform for places that you know people will be appreciative no matter what. A great place for this in nursing homes. A lot of times, the senior citizens, they're just so happy to have someone there and they usually be so grateful. So if you do small performances for them or senior centers, they usually are so grateful and appreciative. And it will help you too, because you'll get that performance experience in front of them. So those are the three things that I think really help. And if you are interested in learning more, like I said, check out the description below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, subscribe, and have a great day.